Welcome to the Julie Salant Podcast, the place to reconnect to your heart and live your soul purpose. This is where you will find inspiring information on how to reconnect to your heart, get into mind, body, spirit alignment, and step into your personal power. Together, we will hear messages from the sacred animal kingdom, discuss how to reframe success that works best for you, and learn to step into divine flow, allowing you to do what your soul came here to do. Thank you for being here. And now, let's tune in to today's show.
Hey everyone, Julie Salant. I just wanted to give you a quick video today on something that's been requested quite a bit, which is 4 powerful ways to raise your consciousness. Raising our consciousness is something that all of us are continually working on, and I like to think of it as a book. We are all in one book. We are all reading the same book. And when you think about consciousness, we are all at different levels on our spiritual walk, which means that we're all in different chapters. You may be at chapter 1, which would be that you're just awakening. You're just figuring out that there's more to life than what you see in front of you, that you do have past lives, you have soul ties and karmic influences, and there's so much more to you than what you are looking at and dealing with right now. And that is usually when a spiritual awakening has taken place. And that's usually the first level. And then it goes on from there to the ascended masters and guides who help us to really learn how to keep our power. And the ultimate, in my humble opinion, is we want to keep our power no matter what's going on around us, right? We always want to be able to not live in the ego mind, which is fear, frustration, anger, and pain, which are lower vibrational emotions. We would like to be in a state of joy, abundance, happiness, radiance, where we really can just shine our light into the world and help other people. So I'd like to give you 4 powerful ways that you can raise your consciousness. And I'm going to look over here because I do have them listed out. So the first one is to be in the moment, not the past or the future. Now, this is something that we probably all struggle with. And I think that you will perhaps struggle with this your entire life. I know I have, until you get to that point where you can really just disregard it. But many of us live from the past. If you have been a child, if you remember, you might have put your hand near the stove at one time or put your finger on the stove when it was hot. And you learned very quickly, oh my gosh, ouch, that hurts. And you never do that again. That's the way that a lot of us learn. We learn from our past. However, the future is undefined. And you don't want to continually drag your past with you, because what that does is it holds on to old expectations, old ways of being that may no longer be serving you. For instance, you may feel, perhaps you had, let's just say, a love interest, and at one time things went sour, and since then you haven't been able to move forward because you're still always in the past. Every person that you meet right now in today's world, you're still comparing them to your other person from the past. They don't match up. You've got a lot of expectations and thoughts and patterns around what's happened to you in the past, and then you project that onto the future. And the new person that you're meeting, you may think, since this has happened to me before, it's going to happen to me again, which is really not the case. You're looking at a totally different scenario, a totally different person, but you're projecting your past onto the future. And when you do that, you're not allowing the future to really unfold naturally, because there's so many really cool ways that this could blossom for you. So let go of the past as much as possible. Yes, you can learn from it, but you don't want to drag it with you. And the way to do that is to be in the present moment. In this present moment, you are fine. You are okay. You have a roof over your head. You have a job, probably. You have family, probably. You have great experiences in the here and now. So live in the moment as much as you possibly can. Don't think about the past. Don't let it have sway over you, so much so that it influences your future negatively, because the future hasn't happened yet. And we want to allow that to unfold. And the best way to do that is to be in the present moment, right here, right now, experiencing it in a positive way by claiming and allowing in abundance and joy, happiness, radiance, and really raising your vibration up as much as you possibly can. So being in the here and now and letting go of the past is probably the very first and most powerful step that you can give yourself to raising your level of consciousness. Okay, number 2, let go of self-judgment. So again, this is a big one, and we are constantly thinking about the past and thinking, in the past, I reacted this way, and it didn't really work out for me well. What you want to do is accept yourself, for what you are right in the here and now, for what you've gone through, for all the lessons you've learned. And don't wait. Don't wait until you have more money, until you have the perfect house, until you have the perfect job, until you have the perfect spouse, until you have this much money in the bank. You need to start accepting yourself right here and right now for all of what you are. Because when you accept yourself, you can take a breath and you can be who you are in your expanded, elevated state of mind. When you accept yourself, you're not fighting against yourself anymore. You are truly living. You're in the present moment and you're saying, I am where I am. I accept myself and I forgive myself for the things that I did. Maybe I made mistakes. Certainly, we all make mistakes. Maybe I had poor judgment in a certain situation. Maybe I did something that I'm not proud of or I shouldn't have done, and I would have done it a different way. But guess what? In the future, you'll have another opportunity to correct that and to change and to make better decisions. But it all starts by forgiving yourself and accepting yourself for who you are. So right now, in this moment, I would so urge you to just say, I accept myself for who I am, for what I've done, for what I've been through, for the lessons I've learned, and I accept who I am and move forward with kindness and strength and happiness and an open heart. By doing that, you have let a lot of walls down, you have forgiven yourself and let the past go, and you are in the here and now, and acceptance of self and forgiveness of self is one of the most powerful decisions you can ever make. Step number 3, question your reactions. If you feel out of control, this is a big one. If you feel out of control, and I'm not going to discuss politics, but I'm just going to take the world stage right now. Right now in 2020, we have horrible fires in Australia that are killing people and thousands, millions of animals. Very, very, very disheartening, very upsetting for so many of us. In the United States, we have a lot of turmoil around what's going to happen in the world with Iran, with our politics, with our leaders. It's happening everywhere. People are in a state of anger and fear. We feel out of control. We feel as though we can't make things better. And it upsets us. And that means that there's a lot of healing to do around this. And I just had a very, very great Q&A with my dear friend Catherine in our membership program where we really discussed this. And I couldn't understand why or how I could change my fear-based patterns of what the heck is going to happen if we have a world war? What's going to happen with all these fires? And I was so upset about the animals that are dying and the wildfires and the earth and just all the turmoil. I felt out of control, which made me feel fearful and like, oh, what the hell? How are we going to fix this? And then it gets into a downward spiral of, I feel powerless. I can't fix this. The whole goal here is you want to be able to stand in your power and to have nothing shake you. No matter what's going on around us, you've got to know where your power is. And your power is with yourself and everything that's around you that you can touch. You cannot change someone else's power, a world leader's power. They're going to do what they're going to do, but you can change your reaction to it. And here's the key. This is a big one. Instead of reacting and going down the rabbit hole, which I still do, a lot of times I have to catch myself of, holy crap, this is not good. This is going to be bad. I can see things happening from a mile away. We're going to go to war. It's going to be bad. Instead of going down that route, which is very disempowering, puts you in a space of anger, frustration, fear, negativity, lower vibrations, let's release that and say, take a breath. I can't control that, but I can control how I react to it. It's happening around me, but I am going to say that I am going to hold myself in a place of harmonious power. I'm going to see all this, but I'm not going to react to it. I'm going to let things play out, but I am going to stand in my power, be as positive as I can about where I am and my role and what I can affect. Because when you're doing that, you're helping not only yourself, but the collective and all the souls around you. And you just don't know how far that will ripple out. So the key is to feel the feelings, but let go of them. Don't hold on to them, and stand in your power where you are strong. And you can come to a place of saying, I am strong. I feel secure. I understand that things are happening, but I'm not going to react to them. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole of fear, frustration, anger, and disempowerment. I'm going to choose how I feel, and I'm going to make sure that I feel empowered, abundant, joyful, and I'm going to do everything I can to affect everything around me and raise them up into that powerful level of joy and abundance and love and happiness. This is a big one. This can take some work and some time, but what you really want to do is, the goal is to keep your vibration high, to not react to what's going on around you. And I would suggest, if you need to, turn off the TV. A lot of times I can't even watch this stuff anymore because it gets me so upset. Or you see it, but you don't react. I mean, how many times have you, let's be real here for a minute. How many times have you watched TV and I'll be making dinner and I'll be like, holy crap, I can't believe that happened. What the hell? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm interjecting, I'm getting upset about it. You're reacting and you're getting into a lower level consciousness, and it's not helpful for yourself or anyone else. You have the power to choose how you want to feel. You have the power to choose how you want to feel. And the way to do that is to say, I want to stay empowered. I want to stay in a high vibrational state. It doesn't mean that we're going along and not thinking about this stuff, but what it means is we're not reacting to it, because it doesn't do anybody or yourself any good to get in these lower level vibrational frequencies. So choose your power, choose to stay empowered, and choose to stay in that love and abundance and higher vibrational frequency. And the way you do that is you don't react. You can see things, but you don't react. You let them flow by you, and then you say, I choose to stay in an enlightened and happy, powerful state, which will affect everyone and everything around you. When you raise your vibration, you're changing your consciousness. It's a different level of thinking. Just think of it as, I'm not going down the rabbit hole of anger and fear, and I don't feel in control, and I feel like things are happening to me, and oh crap, this is not working out for us, to one of, I see it, but I'm happy and I'm aligned. I can handle this. See the difference? Lastly, but most importantly, is let the future be what it will be. And I talked about this in step 1, but I really want to reiterate it here because it's important. So many times we drag the past with us no matter where we're going. I always think of it like you're carrying a big sack on your shoulders and you're moving forward with all these expectations and thoughts of what's happened in the past. And a lot of times it's a lot of the mistakes that we've made. And you want to drop that crap as fast as you can, because in the here and now, you're good. You're happy. You are alive. You are able to do things and make decisions for yourself. Let the future be what it will be, in a positive and radiant state. Come from the position of, think of it this way. Let's put myself here, myself number one, myself number two next to me. Myself number one is my old self, and it's thinking, okay, I'm looking at the future and I'm thinking about anger, fear, rejection, things I made mistakes with, and I'm projecting that onto my future. The future's not going to look very bright. Whereas in number two, I'm thinking about, yes, I made mistakes, but you know what? I forgave myself. I've moved on. I'm an enlightened creature. I'm different than when I was before because I'm a different person, because I'm greater. I have greater experiences. And now I'm going to let that stuff go. In the here and now, I'm happy. I'm joyful. I have abundance in my life. And now I'm going to move forward. And I'm excited as to what the future looks like. Because here's the thing that's the most important thing, guys. If you're envisioning the future in only one way, you are taking away all of the options that the universe wants to give you good new things into your life, because you're only thinking of it can happen one way. So you're limiting yourself. It's like, instead of talking to the whole planet and being enlightened and having great experiences, you're limiting yourself to only talking to one person. If I told you right now that you can only talk to one person for the rest of your life, what would you say to me? You'd probably say, you're crazy, Julie. That's nuts. Why would I want to do that? I want to talk to lots of different people because I want to empower myself and I want to learn. I want to raise my consciousness. Of course you would. And so would I. So when you think about your future, don't think of it as it can only come one way. Think of it as, I know my future can be successful in a million different ways. And I don't know how it's going to come to me, but I'm so excited for what it looks like. I can't wait to see what it's going to show up as. Maybe it will show up as a book. Maybe I'll be on a stage. Maybe I'll be at a retreat. Maybe I'll be doing one-on-one coaching. Maybe I'll be doing something I never even thought of, and it'll be so cool. That's what you want to happen in your life. So you want to have all those experiences. So release any thoughts around the future, and it can only be one way. Allow it to flow in and think, I don't know what this is going to look like. I have no idea what's coming up in my future, but I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. And I accept it no matter what it looks like. That's the key, guys. That's the key. So I hope that these 4 important tips have helped you to figure out a way to raise your consciousness. The first one, again, is to be in the moment, not in the past, not in the future, right here, right now. The second one is to let go of self-judgment, which is by accepting yourself and forgiving yourself. The third one is to question your reactions and to stay in a state of empowerment. See what's going on in the world, but stay empowered. And the last one is let the future be what it's going to be. So I hope that these have helped you. I am so looking forward to the next video that we do. But for now, take care. We'll talk soon. Thank you for listening to the latest podcast. This is Julie Salant. If you like what you've heard and you'd like to go deeper, there are 2 ways that you can work with me to get personal one-on-one coaching or to receive an animal reading. Click on the link below to set up a time with me to talk. You can also check out the Spiritual Cafe. That is a membership-based group that I have with a dear friend of mine, where we talk live monthly and give you information on elevated consciousness, answer your questions, and help you move through life with clarity and conscious decisions. Looking forward to talking with you soon. Thanks, Julie.